A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Krishan Devasthagayam and let's start off with a look at this afternoon's headlines.
Officers who cannot take the responsibility of preventing filling of lands should step down from their positions, a statement from the President. Gotabaya Rajapaksa arrives at the police FCID. 10 metric tons of rice unsuitable for human consumption destroyed in Taman Kadua. 123 people fall victim to double bomb blasts in Iraq and Pakistan.
And in your lead story this afternoon, President Maithripala Sirisena says that state officials who cannot fulfill their duties in preventing the filling of lands must resign from their posts.
At an event held at the President's official house yesterday, the head of state instructed officials to provide a monthly grant of 10,000 rupees to farmers who were affected by the dry weather conditions. The President issued instructions that a committee be formed comprising of officials of divisional secretaries, Grama Sevaka officers and Samurdhi officers, and that they obtain detailed information regarding farmer families who were affected by the dry weather condition, and that the monthly grant of 10,000 rupees be provided from March until the commencement of the Yalla season. The President issued these instructions at a meeting held with heads of departments in order to discuss the impact on the agricultural sector as a result of the drought. The President had further noted that a large number of complaints are being made by the public with regard to the filling of lands and that officials should take immediate steps to rectify the situation.
And in another headline-making story this afternoon, now former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa has arrived at the Police Financial Crimes Investigations Division. The former Defence Secretary arrived at the Police FCID in order to provide a statement. Now, a spokesperson attached to the division stated that former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa is providing the statement as of now. In more local news, 10 metric tons of rice unsuitable for human consumption were destroyed at the garbage dump of the Taman Kadua Pradeshya Sabhava in Polonnaruwa yesterday.
The stock of rice was taken into custody during a Consumer Affairs Authority raid of a mill in the Gallala area in Polonnaruwa. The CAA had received an information that the mill owners had been adding mixing colouring with the rice. The stock of rice was destroyed based on an order issued by the Polonnaruwa court.
Meanwhile, another edition of the Meeting the Public seminars organised by the JVP in the Mathura district was held last evening under the auspices of MP Vijitha Herath.
රාජපක්ෂ පාලනයට එරෙහිව තිබිච්ච ප්‍රධාන චෝදනාව තමයි හොරකම, දූෂණය, වංචාව, නාස්ති. අලුත් පාලනයේ කිව්වේ
The main charges leveled against the Rajapaksa regime were robbery, waste, fraud and corruption. When the new government came into power, they promised that they would bring a complete stop to the robbery, waste, fraud and corruption. Thus, they were able to win the election by riding the wave of the distaste the public had for fraud and corruption. However, what happened thereafter? One of the biggest frauds in history, the central bank bond scam, took place. Their bid to avert corruption came to an end there. As soon as Arjuna Mahindran became the governor of the central bank, a 55 billion bond scam was committed. The trust we had in the government was broken. That's where their corruption started, and by today, that corruption has started to grow uncontrollably.
Meanwhile, Gampaha organizer of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Pandu Bandaranayake, convened a media briefing yesterday and expressed the following views.
මේ යම් යම් අය කුමන්ත්‍රකාරී වැඩපිළිවෙලක් යටතේ විවිධ පක්ෂ ඒකරාශී කරගෙන නව පක්ෂ සදමින්
Some individuals are conspiring to form other parties. They want to defeat the SLFP and emerge victorious as the joint opposition. A number of smaller political parties have come together to form the joint opposition. We need to take a stand to defeat them and drive them out.
අපි ජනතාවට මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න කැමැති.
An individual who discarded spoilt milk into the Dikkoya, which flows into the Castlereagh Reservoir in Hatton, has been arrested.
According to our correspondent, nearly 10,000 litres of spoilt milk from a private factory in the area had been discarded in this manner using a bowser. The milk had spread across 3 kilometers and manager of the milk collection point has been taken into custody. Further investigations are underway.
Area residents of Munaragala foiled an attempt by a mother to discard her newborn child into a drain in close proximity to the Kacheria junction in Munaragala. According to the Munaragala police, the woman in question suffered from a mental illness. A resident of Buttala, she is not receiving treatment at the Munaragala district hospital. The police note that the infant was just 4 months old. Today is the final day of the education exhibition organized in line with the 50th anniversary celebrations of DS Senanayaka College, Colombo.
The final day of the exhibition was declared open under the auspices of Hema Premadasa. Newsfirst screen tests too were held for students on the sidelines of the exhibition.